we're going to do a problem with distributive, and then we're going to solve it. And let me get this straight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have to distribute both the negative and the to both of these. I've got this, and I've got to multiply it by this. So I have a negative 5 times 6n plus a negative 5 times 6. We can't forget that second one over there. And they're all supposed to equal 30. Well, we're just going to multiply their coefficients. So I've got negative 5 times 6, which is what? Tori? Negative 30. And then what's negative 5 times 6? Yes, ma'am? You redeemed yourself. Now, what have I got to do to solve this equation? I've always got to solve for the variable. You always get rid of the constant first. Which one's the constant, Max? The constant is the one without the variable. So what's the opposite of minus 30? And what I do to one side, I do this. Tori, don't be ugly. So what's 30 plus 30, buddy? Minus 30n. Now, what's going on between this 30 and this n? Brian? What's going on between negative 30 and n? What's the operation going on? Yes, sir. So, how would you do that? Excellent. You need to remember that this means multiplication when there's nothing there. So as Brian says, you divide. And when you do that, n's going to equal negative 2. Excellent. Excellent. I'm going to give you one more. Yeah, that's where these get to a problem. Now we've got to do them on both sides. So what we've got to do now is we got to jump forward, and these will have variables on both sides. And this should have already been done. This should be a review, so hopefully this isn't going to be too scary. What happens if I say 8 times 4k minus 4 equals negative 5k minus 32? Now this is getting uglier. First things first, you have to ask, is there a distributive operation here? Do you have a distributive property? Yes, what is it? Rhiannon, what is it? You don't know? Can you focus on me, baby? Alright, who's back there turned around? Oh, that's John. That's good. Mackenzie, is there a distributive property right here? Okay, pick a lane, baby. Okay, guys, if there is parentheses and a number outside of the parentheses, this is distributive property. So, Jonna, go ahead and show me what you got. Okay, I'm going to say 8 times 4. What is 8 times 4k? 32k. And 8 times 4? And then on the other side, I have 5k minus 32. Now, the next step I have to do is on one side, are there any terms that I can combine? Dalton, are there any terms I can combine over here? Are there any terms I can combine over here? Okay, so I'm going to get the variable. I can't combine like terms. So now I've added a new step. Variable on one side. So I'm either going to get this 5K over here or the 32K over there. And I'm going to hit 5K. I want to get rid of the whole term, not just the 5. I don't want to split these anymore. I want to get rid of the whole thing. So now I'm taking its opposite. Opposite of 5K is positive K. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And I have 37K minus 32 equals minus 32, or negative 32. What would you do next, Desante?